What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to ElectroDrive News, your ultimate source for everything electrifying. The pace of innovation in the electric world never slows down, and today we've got a rapid-fire rundown of updates that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. We're diving deep into the strategies that could redefine the future of automotive giants, exploring the clever ways we're extending the life of critical components, and uncovering surprising service options that could save you serious cash. Get ready for a high-octane episode packed with insights that will keep you ahead of the curve. Let's get into it. First up, we're dissecting a bold, high-stakes maneuver by an automotive titan. Is this a strategic masterstroke or a desperate gamble that could reshape its entire future? We've got the analyst breakdown you need to understand the real impact. Next, we're looking at the clock and a ticking deadline for a significant financial incentive. With a major tax credit set to expire, we're asking the crucial question: is now the time to snag a pre-owned electric vehicle and lock in those savings before they vanish? Then, we're shining a spotlight on sustainability breakthroughs. Discover how a major automaker is taking a giant leap forward in recycling those essential EV batteries, turning yesterday's power sources into tomorrow's solutions. And finally, are you an EV owner looking to cut costs? We investigate whether a popular warehouse club is a viable, wallet-friendly option for essential EV tire servicing. Stick around, because you won't want to miss these updates. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a beat. A high-stakes pivot, Ford's electric gamble unpacked. Ford is making a monumental shift, phasing out the popular Escape SUV to fuel its electric vehicle ambitions. This isn't just a minor adjustment. It's being framed internally as a Model T moment, backed by a significant $5 billion investment earmarked for launching an affordable electric truck. However, the path forward is fraught with challenges, and analysts are branding this move as a desperate gamble, pointing to Ford's troubled history with EV manufacturing inefficiencies. To achieve its ambitious EV goals, the company will need a radical overhaul of its entire operational structure. From an analyst's perspective, this strategic pivot appears less like groundbreaking innovation and more like a necessary, albeit risky, response to intense market pressure. The company's previous generations of EVs have already incurred billions in losses, starkly highlighting a fundamental misalignment between its traditional manufacturing model and the demands of profitable electric vehicle production. The recent Q2 2025 earnings report vividly illustrated this internal struggle, revealing a deep rift in performance across its three newly formed divisions: Ford Blue for internal combustion engine ICE and hybrid vehicles, Ford Model E for electric vehicles, and Ford Pro for commercial vehicles. The financial data paints a clear picture. Ford's electric division continues to be a significant drain on resources. Despite a reported improvement from a staggering minus 99.9% EBIT margin last year to minus 56.4% in Q2, the Model E segment posted a substantial $1.15 billion loss against just $1.2 billion in revenue. This ongoing unprofitability is not entirely unexpected, as the Model E division, launched in March 2022, has been tasked with the monumental challenge of establishing EV profitability from scratch, a feat that even industry leader Tesla took years to accomplish. For the moment, these heavy losses are being absorbed by Ford's more established and profitable business units, with Ford Pro being a particularly strong contributor. The Ford Pro segment is currently a standout performer, generating $2.3 billion in EBIT on $18.8 billion in revenue, achieving a robust 12.3% margin. This commercial division is effectively subsidizing the company's electric ventures. In contrast, Ford Blue, the legacy ICE and hybrid arm, remains a reliable cash generator thanks to iconic models like the F-Series and Mustang. However, even this segment is feeling the heat of increased competition, reporting a Q2 EBIT of $661 million. The stakes are incredibly high for Ford, an automaker deeply woven into the fabric of American industry. The $5 billion allocated for its EV push nearly matches the total operating loss incurred by the Model E division throughout 2024. This indicates a significant doubling down on a segment that is currently bleeding cash. The promise of a $30,000 electric truck is certainly attractive to consumers, but realizing this vision necessitates a complete reimagining of Ford's manufacturing processes. The decision to sideline profitable models like the Escape and Lincoln Corsair underscores the critical nature of this strategic shift. Ford is channeling $2 billion into modernizing its Louisville assembly plant and another $3 billion into the Blue Oval Battery Park in Michigan. A key component of this overhaul is a new manufacturing methodology called the assembly tree, which involves building vehicle sections in parallel before final assembly, a process Ford claims could slash production times by up to 40%. This substantial investment is, in essence, an acknowledgement of past manufacturing shortcomings and a determined effort to overcome them to remain competitive. Financially, Ford's stock currently trades at a P/E ratio of 14.8, which is about a 30% discount compared to the broader consumer discretionary sector. However, within the automotive industry itself, valuations show considerable variation. General Motors, a comparable industry giant with similar iconic status, serves as a useful benchmark. Over the past year, GM has outperformed Ford in revenue growth, with a 5.3% year-over-year increase compared to Ford's 2.7%, and has achieved a healthier 5.6% EBIT margin versus Ford's 1.56%. This disparity suggests that Ford's market valuation is heavily dependent on future growth expectations, with investors betting on a turnaround despite current losses. Wall Street analysts generally hold a hold rating on Ford stock, with a consensus price target implying a potential downside of nearly 10% in the next 12 months. The company's ambitious EV plan, while bold, is perceived by many as a move born out of necessity rather than strategic foresight. The persistent losses in the Model E division have forced Ford to abandon its traditional playbook, even at the cost of popular SUV models. The company now faces the formidable task of mastering new manufacturing techniques while contending with fierce competition and fluctuating consumer demand for EVs. For many observers, the prudent approach is to wait for tangible evidence of a sustainable turnaround before committing to a long-term investment. This massive investment signals a critical juncture for the automaker. Now, let's shift gears and talk about a looming deadline that could impact your next EV purchase. Seize the savings, navigating the used EV tax credit deadline. As the calendar pages turn towards September 30, 2025, a significant opportunity for savings on pre-owned electric vehicles is rapidly approaching its expiration. This upcoming deadline for the used EV tax credit presents a critical decision point for potential buyers. Is now the optimal time to dive into the pre-owned EV market and capitalize on these substantial government incentives before they disappear? The context here is crucial for anyone considering an EV. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 introduced tax credits designed to make electric vehicles more accessible, and a portion of these benefits extends to the used market. Specifically, the Used Clean Vehicle Tax Credit allows eligible buyers to claim up to $4,000 or 30% of the sale price, whichever is less, on the purchase of a qualified used EV. However, this incentive comes with strict eligibility requirements, including income limitations for the buyer, a maximum sale price for the vehicle, and the critical condition that the sale must occur before the September 30, 2025 deadline. This date marks the end of the eligibility period for vehicles purchased under the current framework, creating a sense of urgency for those looking to leverage this financial advantage. The implications of this looming deadline are multifaceted. For consumers, it represents a potential window to acquire an EV at a significantly reduced cost, making the transition to electric mobility more affordable. This could be particularly attractive for individuals or families who might find new EVs priced out of their reach. The used EV market, bolstered by these credits, offers a wider range of options, from earlier models of popular EVs to well-maintained vehicles with moderate mileage. The ability to combine the tax credit with potentially lower sticker prices on used cars makes this an economically compelling proposition. However, navigating the used EV market requires diligence. Potential buyers need to ensure the vehicle they are considering meets all the qualification criteria. This includes verifying the vehicle's sale price, its battery capacity, which must be at least 7 kilowatt-hours, and its manufacturing date. Crucially, the seller must be a licensed dealer who reports the sale to the IRS. Private party sales do not qualify for this credit. Furthermore, buyers must meet specific income thresholds. For those filing jointly, the modified adjusted gross income cannot exceed $150,000. For heads of household, it's $112,500, and for all other filers, it's $75,000. Exceeding these limits disqualifies the buyer from claiming the credit. The expiration of this credit also raises questions about its impact on the broader EV market. The incentive is designed to stimulate demand and encourage the adoption of electric vehicles. Its removal could lead to a slowdown in the growth of the used EV market, or at least a recalibration of pricing as the demand-side support diminishes. Auto industry analysts are watching closely to see how this plays out, with some predicting a surge in used EV sales as the deadline approaches, followed by a potential softening of demand afterward. Dealerships and manufacturers may need to adjust their strategies to maintain sales momentum without the federal incentive. For the consumer, the advice is clear. If you're in the market for a used EV and meet the eligibility criteria, acting before the September 30, 2025, deadline could unlock significant savings. Researching qualified vehicles and dealers, understanding the income and vehicle requirements, and acting promptly are key to capitalizing on this temporary financial advantage. The question isn't just about buying an EV. It's about buying smarter and making the most of available incentives before they're gone. This financial incentive is a key driver for EV adoption right now. But what happens to those batteries when EVs reach the end of their usable life? We're exploring a major advancement in that area next. Toyota's sweep system advances EV battery reuse. As the global adoption of electric vehicles accelerates, a critical question looms large. What happens to EV batteries once they reach the end of their service life? This challenge is being tackled by automakers and environmental advocates alike, and Toyota has just announced a significant stride forward in its battery recycling and reuse initiatives with its Sweep Energy Storage System. The Sweep Energy Storage System, first detailed by Toyota in 2022, is designed to repurpose batteries reclaimed from various electrified vehicles, including hybrids, HEV, plug-in hybrids, PHEV, battery electric vehicles, BEV, and fuel cell electric vehicles, FCEV. The core innovation of the sweep concept lies in its engineering, which allows for the integration and utilization of older batteries to their full capacity, irrespective of their individual degradation levels or differing chemistries. This approach is crucial because Toyota, like other manufacturers, cannot control the exact condition or type of batteries that will eventually be retired from vehicles. Initially, Toyota's sweep system was demonstrated connected to a commercial electric grid. This month, the initiative took a significant step forward as Toyota, in collaboration with Mazda, began testing an advanced iteration of the system at Mazda's factory in Hiroshima, Japan. Toyota stated that this new system is intended to play a role in regulating power supply and demand, particularly in conjunction with renewable energy sources. This move signifies a practical application of battery reuse technology, aiming to create a more circular economy for EV components. Stephen Edelstein, writing for Autoblog, highlighted the importance of Toyota's technology, noting that it theoretically allows for battery packs with different cell types, chemistries, and different states of health to be used together. This capability is vital given the inherent variability in retired EV batteries. The ability to pool and manage batteries with diverse characteristics means that a broader range of reclaimed batteries can be effectively utilized, rather than being discarded due to incompatibility or minor performance differences. The tests at Mazda's facility are expected to provide valuable data on the system's performance in a real-world industrial setting. By integrating the sweep system with a factory's energy management, Toyota and Mazda aim to demonstrate its potential to stabilize power grids that rely heavily on intermittent renewable sources like solar and wind. This could involve storing excess energy generated during peak production times and releasing it when demand is high or renewable generation is low, thereby improving energy efficiency and grid stability. This initiative is part of a broader trend in the automotive industry towards addressing the environmental impact of battery production and disposal. As the number of EVs on the road grows, so does the volume of end-of-life batteries. Developing effective reuse and recycling programs is essential for sustainability and for mitigating the environmental footprint of electric mobility. Toyota's investment in the sweep system positions it as a proactive player in this critical area, potentially offering a scalable solution for battery repurposing. The success of these tests could pave the way for wider deployment of the sweep system, not only at Toyota and Mazda facilities, but potentially for other industrial applications or even grid-scale energy storage projects. It represents a significant step towards creating a closed-loop system for EV batteries, reducing waste and maximizing the value derived from these complex and resource-intensive components. This innovative approach to battery management is a game-changer for sustainability. But what about the ongoing maintenance of your EV? We're looking at a surprising place for service next. Costco's EV tire service, a frugal owner's dilemma. For many electric vehicle owners, even those driving premium vehicles like Teslas, the hunt for value extends to routine maintenance. One EV owner recently sparked a viral conversation by questioning the cost-effectiveness and feasibility of getting EV tire services, specifically rotations, performed at a place like Costco, especially when compared to dealership prices. The discussion gained traction thanks to a TikTok video by creator Howdamilitary, at Howdamilitary, who openly shared his budget-conscious approach, noting that a tire rotation at Costco was priced at around $28, a stark contrast to the $70 or more quoted by Tesla service centers or other specialized tire shops. His simple yet widely relatable sentiment was, before somebody says, "Why do you care so much about saving $30, $40 if you have a Tesla?" Well, 'cause that's just what I do. This highlights a common sentiment among EV owners, the desire to manage ownership costs effectively, even for basic services. For all the advanced technology packed into EVs, tire maintenance remains a critical, albeit traditional, aspect of ownership with significant implications. Electric vehicles, due to their heavy battery packs, are considerably heavier than comparable internal combustion engine vehicles. This increased weight, combined with the instant torque delivery characteristic of electric powertrains and the effects of regenerative braking, often leads to faster and more pronounced tire wear, particularly on the rear wheels. Tesla, for instance, recommends tire rotations approximately every 6,250 miles to ensure even tread wear and maximize tire lifespan. Neglecting this relatively inexpensive service can result in the premature need for expensive tire replacements, with a full set of premium EV-rated tires often costing around $1,000. Beyond the frequency of rotations, EV tire servicing requires specific handling procedures. Unlike standard gasoline cars, EVs like Teslas often require specialized jack pad adapters, commonly known as pucks, to be used when lifting the vehicle. Improper lifting can risk severe damage to the battery tray or undercarriage, components that are critical and costly to repair. While many car owners are accustomed to performing basic maintenance on their gasoline vehicles, the weight and specialized nature of EVs make DIY tire rotations without the correct equipment risky and inadvisable. This necessity for specialized handling often directs owners to official Tesla service centers or dedicated third-party EV repair shops. However, this is precisely where the significant price disparity emerges, as exemplified by the creator's observation. While Tesla service centers and shops like Discount Tire might charge upwards of $70 for a simple tire rotation, Costco's offering at under half that price raises a valid question about their capability and safety protocols for EVs. The short answer is that Costco tire centers do service Teslas and other EVs, but with important caveats. The availability and quality of service depend heavily on whether the specific Costco location has technicians trained and equipped with the necessary tools, particularly the correct jack pad adapters. Costco's official policy can be more restrictive than the actual practice. While tire rotations are typically offered to members at a low price, they are often contingent on the tires having been purchased through Costco. Some locations may service tires bought elsewhere for an extra fee, while others might decline the service altogether due to liability concerns or a lack of trained personnel. Anecdotal evidence from Tesla forums and social media platforms like Reddit confirms this inconsistency. While some users report successful and safe tire rotations at Costco using proper jack pads, others caution potential customers to verify the availability of the correct equipment at their local store. This variability means that unlike dedicated EV service centers, Costco's readiness for EV maintenance is not uniform across its network. For EV owners prioritizing cost savings and willing to do the necessary due diligence, Costco can indeed be a viable option. However, the key takeaway is to always call ahead, confirm their capabilities for your specific EV model, and inquire about the availability of the correct lifting equipment. Without this proactive step, assuming service availability could lead to disappointment or, worse, potential vehicle damage. This exploration into cost-effective EV maintenance is eye-opening. Now, let's wrap up with a quick recap of all the top stories we covered today. And that's a wrap on another packed episode of ElectroDrive News. We saw Ford making a massive, potentially risky pivot in its EV strategy, analyzed the crucial deadline for used EV tax credits, celebrated Toyota's advancements in battery recycling, and investigated the surprisingly affordable EV tire service at Costco. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe to ElectroDrive News for your daily dose of electric innovation, and hit that notification bell so you're always the first to know. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below and follow us on all social media platforms for even more exclusive content.